Hello guys, it's James and we are back for our round 6 betting tips. Man, we bailed out by that Sunday game. Well, more specifically, Carl Amon. Carl Amon getting 9 posies in that last quarter. Well, he only needed 8, but geez, I thought that one was done, dusted. But Carl Amon essentially got us over the line to get positive for the week. So that was freaking huge. Otherwise, yes, I don't think we won one on Saturday. We were short by 1 from Clayton Oliver, short by 2 from Zorko. Himmelberg had a stinker, but man, it was looking rough on that Saturday, and then we won the 2 on Sunday. So thank God we came back. But yeah, let's go through our betting recap for that round. Oh, the Thursday. This one was actually really good. I've bothered you guys enough about the post section, so for anyone who's new or subscribed or just being here, just remember I do the post, so I won't have a whole 4-minute thing about it. But yeah, check the post section there to see this one because I don't post it before the game, but I posted the form guide, and everyone here I really liked. Worrell and Guthrie was super quiet early. Worrell I was okay with. He hit it very late, but I think Zach Guthrie was on. He might have got I think he had a similar game to Carl Amon where he was on maybe. I'm just going to double check. I think Zach Guthrie was on 8 or something heading into the last quarter. Yeah, I got to double check this. But Zach Guthrie finished on 18. I do remember that. Zach Guthrie, 18. He went 2, 2, and then 4. So he was on 8. So he was on 8 posies going into the last, and then got 10. What, dude, these defenders just coming back strong in the last quarter and absolutely just saving our bacon. It's so good. Oliver Henry for a goal. I was confident he was going to bounce back. He missed. He's only 2 of 4 to start the year, but he's been very quiet, and he got over that $1.20 bracket, so I was very confident that he could bounce back. He missed last week against Melbourne, and that was very odd in that sort of pretty comfortable win for Geelong at GMHBA. So yeah, I just figured he was going to kick one against Adelaide. It was very high scoring, so we were lucky there that he still got one. Ben Keys has been on fire. He's averaging well over a goal a game, and he's always paying very good because there's Riley Thilthorpe, Darcy Fogarty, Tex Walker. He's always 4th in line for a goal. So Ben Keys has been paying fantastically. Adelaide have been playing great as well, even though they just lost to Geelong, and they also just lost to Gold Coast the week before. So Adelaide have been playing great, scoring well, great for a goal kicker for Ben Keys. And Riley Thilthorpe actually only kicked 1, and he has averaged, I think, 2 goals, 9 out of his last 10. Well, it's going to be 8 now, but someone to keep in mind for next week. Zach Guthrie, who I just mentioned, who had 10 posies in the last quarter. This bet was as good as gone, right? We were on, Worrell was struggling too, and Worrell was playing a lockdown role, was on danger. So I was just things weren't looking our way, right? But yeah, it was so good to have Zach Guthrie come back. And Worrell only just finished on 15. Jeez, we got lucky there. But he got 5 in the last quarter. So he was on 10 going into the last. Guthrie was on 8. That was a big last quarter by those guys. Nothing else really to note for that one. I'll go through it in the next betting tips in the second half. Oh, man, this sucks. So this one I was pretty confident on, right? Ned Long, I was not thinking he was going to get 29, but he has been bursting at the seams. He's been sub 3 of 4 games. The one game he wasn't sub, he got 24. The other games where he came in, last week for Degoe, when Degoe was taken off in the last quarter, I think it was, Ned Long came on, looked so energetic, alive, and got 6 posies. I'm like, all right, he's guaranteed a game next week, and he's just hungry. He just wants the footy. Yes, he butchers it a lot, misses handballs, whatever the heck, but we don't care about that at all when we're betting on him for posies. And he looks very hungry, which I love to see. So it'll be curious to see what he's paying for next week. But if he's paying a dollar, even $1.20 for 20, I'd still be very, very tempted. We got him for $1.20 for 15. Definitely not going to be that next week, so we'll have to keep tabs on him. But I really think he'll be good odds still for 20 posies. So we might just jump on him before his prices just go up there. Darcy Cameron, fantastic, looking like one of the informed ruckmen, played really good against Grundy. Grundy played really well too, actually. So a lot of the ruckmen got, both ruckmen got a lot of the footy in this one. Florent was like $1.40 and he looked comfortable, safe as houses, and he bounced back, which is great to see. Jamie Elliott also bounced back. There's 2 bounce backs. I'm pretty sure Florent missed the week before and Jamie Elliott missed a goal. So to see them both hit the following week, I really, really like players who missed the week before and to average over the bracket that we're asking. So Jamie Elliott averaging over a goal a game, and Ollie Florent averaging over 15, which, you know, leads me into Dacos. Josh Dacos, he, in his last like 2 years of footy, since 2023, 2024, even this year, he's hit 15 or below once. Well, now twice with this, but like, I think he's hit below 20 8 games in the last 2 years, but that's out of like 55 games. So he's hitting like 85% of the time over 20. I don't know what the percentage is like for the 2 or whatever, but or for how many he's hit 25. But yeah, to only miss now twice, 15 or lower, 8 times and 20. So that means all the others he's hitting over 20. I know we had him for 25, but the point is, like, he just had an outlier, a real stinker. Just didn't look himself, didn't look hungry. He was not trying that hard for like handball receives, and like the odd times he did, he just wasn't really getting used. So the 15 is actually kind of generous, because I'm pretty sure he was on like just something really shit heading into halftime. I think he was on 5. So yeah, Josh Dacos, heading into halftime, he was on 5. That's my memory working out well there. And then he got 5 in the third quarter, 5 in the fourth. So yeah, he was easily like on track for like 10 or something, and then just finally picked things up, but it was too little too late. So I'm really putting this as a blip for Dacos for this one. It's funny, I was really worried about Nick Dacos, right? Because the James Jordan tag. But Nick Dacos, good God, he's so good. Nick Dacos got 34 posies with a relatively hard tag. And Josh just doesn't really get it. And there was no Dan Houston. Like, Jeremy Howe, he took a couple more kickouts. I think Dacos took 1 or 2. I'm not really expecting Dacos to get all his footy from kickouts. Mostly handball receives, switching the play, just running hard, and yeah, it did not happen. So as much as that sucks, and a performance like that is like, never again, fuck him, I'm not betting on him next week, I am going to put that aside, and I'm still confident to back him, because yeah, the stats say that he's only had that performance once out of the last 2 years. So yeah, I really put that as an outlier. I don't think he'll be doing that again. Jack Crisp was fine. I was very tempted to have him for 20. 15 was a safe one, but yeah, maybe 20 next week, because that's his first miss for 20 this year. So to hit 19 and be very close, consider for the next game. Anyway, the first game of the Saturday, North and Gold Coast. Man, I feel like out of the backline players, like Johnny Noble is the player to bet on in the backline there. Speaking of, like, you know, Josh Dacos not looking hungry, John Noble looks fucking hungry. 28, like, and when I say that, I mean just running, demanding the footy, doing everything they can, like calling for it on like the weak side, just wanting to switch it, making space. Like, these players just, there's some players you just know who just, I reckon, count their own stats, and I feel like John Noble's one of them. And Dan Rioli's kind of a bit more just, I'll just run around, I'll do this here or there, but he doesn't seem as in, I know this is his first miss for the year, right? But he was like 21, 20, 16, and especially after watching Johnny Noble just play next to him, he's the one who looks really good. So we'll see what they're paying next week. But yeah, this was Dan Rioli. This is his first miss out of, I think, like 12, 13 games. So don't want to write him off too strong. It's just too early, but it's just because Johnny Noble is looking so strong next to him. So it's hard to bet on Rioli or Powell or Euland when there's just so many of them back there, when they're stealing each other's chippies. Speaking of, I think Will Powell hit again, and I wrote off Will Powell, and he's got 15 in his last 2. Bodie Euland did miss though. So I feel like out of the 4 backline players there for Gold Coast, the ones that I care about anyway for getting posies, it's almost like 2 are hitting, 2 are missing, 2 are hitting, 2 are missing. So I don't know. It's just hard to pick who's going to hit that week, but I'm really liking John Noble. He's only missed 1. They've all like just missed once or twice, but yeah, it's hard to pick. It's very hard to pick. LDU though, I'm glad we have got him both times in the 20 posi bracket. This is, who knows how long we're going to get him for $1.20 at 20 posies, but just make the most of it. I said that in the video. He was probably my most like bullish pick. Looking great again, just after his quiet start to the year. So I was very happy with LDU. Harry Sheasel, 10 out of 10, not much more you can say. 27 is probably quiet for his standards. He's usually on track for 30. Jai Simpkin, fantastic too, getting so much more of the footy than last year, or early last year anyway. He's looking great as a captain. Cherry, the other negative for that one, he just looked not outplayed, like just playing on wits against like that bigger, older, mature body, just, I don't know, really limiting Cherry to the times he could just take it out of the ruck. Whereas I feel like maybe some of the lighter, skinnier, athletic ruckman, Cherry can just push him out of the way, grab it, snap it out of the ruck, or even chase up his own ball as well. So just say there's a hit out, the ball's loose, one of the midfielders doesn't grab it, Cherry will grab it. Or he'll be a marking target down the line, but he couldn't do that with Jared Witts just being that big body on him. So, again, I would note, I think Cherry has only, similar boat to Dacos, I think he's got below 10 posies, I think 2 times in the last 2 years as well, or 3. If you exclude the sub game he got early 2023. Tristan Cherry, I put that to an outlier, usually one of the informed ruckmen. So a player has a little down game like that, I'm really keen to jump on. The only reason I just am not as keen on Dan Rioli is because there's a couple of backmen there who get the footy, very similar role. I know Will Powell and Bodie Hewlin don't necessarily have that halfback distributor role, but Johnny Noble is exactly what Dan Rioli does. Anyway, that was the first game of Saturday. The next one was Carlton West Coast. This one was fucking shit to bet on. There was barely any options, nothing I really liked. There was only 3 players I liked, and Ryan Marrick, I wasn't even that bullish on for 25. Very bullish for 20, but if I include him for 20, there was no one else I really liked for 20 or 15 there. So yeah, this one I kind of had my hands tied, so I'd rather go 3 and get the bonus bet, which you'll see later that we didn't even flip into the next game. But Adam Chera, I feel like he is very good for 25 this year. Last year he was kind of meh. This year he seems to be great for 25. Only missed once, and Liam Baker has hit 20 in every game he's played for West Coast. So again, he's been like $1.40. I don't know if he'll continue to be that, especially if he's hitting every week. There was no Tim Kelly. Liam Baker tries really hard for West Coast, so I really like what I see there. This one, to be honest, I didn't even really watch this game. I knew Carlton were going to get the win comfortably, and the absolute blowout. And this kind of overlapped with the North Gold Coast game, which I was watching more of. And then this one was the next game, which was the Bulldogs Brisbane. So this one fucking sucks. I've got here the bet that I provided on the video. This was the bet I actually did. I actually forgot to include Bailey Williams in my actual bet. So I was watching this. I'm very, I go for the Lions. So I know I'm very confident in all the Lions picks usually. And Dane Zorko, I was super keen that he was going to bounce back. He missed last week, I think by 1 or 2 posies as well against Richmond. And I was like, look, all right, against Richmond, the ball's not in the back line that much. I reckon against the Doggies, he can really step up. And like he did, but again, I don't know how intensely you guys watched the game. He had a big spell on the bench in the 4th quarter for like 7 minutes or so. And then in the last 3 minutes, he came back off again. So I feel like he could have hit it. He spent the majority of that, probably half of the last quarter just on the bench. Maybe not half, like a third of the last quarter on the bench. So I really think Dane Zorko could have hit there. He started out slow, and I feel like at that smaller oval, the narrow one, I think it starts with B, that one in Adelaide, wherever the Lions and Doggies played, and then also the Saints GWS game, that oval. Very skinny, so not as many opportunities to switch to play. And you'll notice, I think Lockie Whitfield just hit 25. Harry Himmelberg missed. Lockie Ash was amazing, but I feel like some of those 25 plus or 20 posi brackets might have been a little bit rough for the halfback distributors for that skinny ground, because they're just using the corridor for a lot of their plays. But yeah, I'm still not writing Dane Zorko off. I still reckon he can hit next week against Collingwood. It's going to be at the Gabba. yeah, I still like Dane Zorko. He's getting very close. So just super unlucky that leg let me down. But yeah, otherwise Ed Richards was great. Will Ashcroft, I'm very tempted to start going for 25 now. Lachie Neale, not like he is underperforming a little bit, but in those games where he's not scoring well, he's getting a tag. Will Ashcroft is doing what he wants. Will Ashcroft loves the 1-2s, loves the handball receives. He is looking great. So I'm really going to start considering him for 25. And again, when you have Neale, Dunkley, Zorko, and then Ashcroft, like kind of like Ben Keys. Ben Keys is paying really well for a goal because he's the 4th in line. Will Ashcroft is like the 4th in line for the 25 posi bracket at Brisbane. So, and he's looking great. So someone I'll really consider for 20. Lockie Bramall, fine again. So he's been paying $1.40 for 15, which he's 9 out of 10, averaging like 17 or something. So he has been absolutely free. And he, just like I've said about Cherry, just like I said about Dacos, I don't know if you guys remember, Lockie Bramall 2 weeks ago, got a 9. That was like Lockie Bramall's second 9 or under 10 disposal game in like 2 years. That's why I'm confident Dacos will bounce back. That's why I'm confident Cherry will bounce back. These really good players, like whatever their skill rating, like, you know, good. Great. Cherry's awesome. Dacos is great. You know, Lockie Brown, whatever. They're consistent, right? So if they've constantly been hitting over their bracket and they have one bad game, don't write them off. And it'll be the same with Himmelberg. I go into the next game or the game after, had an absolute stinker. We're not going to hold him off. We'll write him off for it. So we're going to stay strong. But otherwise, everyone else from this game was fine. It's just unlucky Dane Zorko didn't quite hit and didn't play much of the 4th. Oh, fuck me. Okay, this one, another one who just missed in the 25 posi bracket. So we had Dane Zorko just miss. We had Oliver just miss. And look, I know Will Setterfield played like a defensive role on him, but I was still confident Clayton Oliver could still hit. Like, yeah, Clayton Oliver just gets a lot of the, you know, tough, gritty, shitty, flick out handballs. Always plays around the stoppages. Very confident he was going to get 25, and for him to be the leg to like let us down. Bowie was the one I was having not doubts on. I was confident on Bowie, but like out of all the legs to let me down there, I was like, could be Bowie. But yeah, Clayton Oliver, especially like Clayton Oliver of 2024, I don't think he's getting 25 posies. Clayton Oliver of 2025, I'm very confident for 25. So again, we'll go again next time. Oh yeah, my actual bet was this one. Mine was, you know, a bit ballsy. Oh, I've also been asked as well to include. So sometimes I do these extra bets. I don't include these extra bets in the video. I don't include them in the profit and loss. These are like my other personal little bets that I do. I forgot to do my safe one. I was scrolling through and I was like, did I not do a safe bet? I always do like safe bets and then I do these bets. These bets, I might have a section for it here. I might just timestamp this or whatever as a little bonus extra bet thing. But these extra bets that I do, I'm only really confident in those if you're kind of playing with like house money. The safe bets are the ones I sort of get up, I do my thing, and then I might start using the, you know, house money to do these extra bets that are a bit higher odds and stuff. And this one just missed Clayton Oliver. Sam Draper actually had for a goal, and as soon as Nick Bryan got injured, I'm like, well, Draper's not kicking one because he's going to play in the ruck the whole game. But if Bryan played the whole game, I guarantee you Draper was kicking a goal. So that one was very unlucky. But sorry, the point with the extra bet, don't use the extra bets to, you know, like make money. Do it as a profit thing. You keep throwing this at the wall, and like, you know, sure, you might get one to hit, but it might be like, I don't know, this is $18 odds, but like 1 out of every 15 or 20 or something if you're doing stupid big legs. This one is, you know, a big leg for me. Like I said, I usually just keep it short, but just because I'm fortunate enough to be in the position now, I'm up a bit from just the safe bets. I can actually then afford to do, we'll go into the next game, the Freo game. Oh no, wait, the Richmond game. Yeah. So speaking of the big bets, this one, another safe bet that got up. This one was fantastic. And then being in the position where I can do a couple extra bets. I got one with PointsBet, one with Ladbrokes, and then the one with Neds. I use a couple of bookies, and you'll notice all of them have a same game refund. So yes, they're a bit big, but again, all the picks that I do here are the ones that I highlight blue in my little Excel spreadsheet. So I always say I highlight some and then I narrow it down to the ones who I really think are going to hit for the safe bet. And then sometimes I might add a couple more who I think, yeah, I also like them. And I have the same game multi. I used bonus cash in this one. That one is the same game. Like, they're all the bonus bet opportunity for a refund, but like, I don't show these. I only just include this one because people were asking in the comments after I showed that Brett Daniels tax sub one last week where I was just pissed. I was like, fuck, I lose a multi to a tax sub. I know Brett Daniels missed and, you know, is a bit sore now, but I was like, man, that's super unlucky. But yeah, so like I said, don't use these as like your main strategy for betting. I would just use the safe bets. That's all I do. I only just use these if I'm up a little bit and I'm happy to lose, like, you know, 50, 100, 150, whatever. Like, I'm in a position to do that. And, you know, sometimes it's that risk reward. I'm happy to risk that money. Like, look, if I risk like 50, 100, 200 bucks, whatever, on these like bonus bets, I still know, oh, I'm up 500 bucks. It doesn't really matter after I lose this, or I'm still up this much, or like whatever position you're in. I just can't stress that enough. Like, that's why I don't post my other big bets like on this channel, because it's like, just, we'll just focus on the safe bets. This is the one where you can slowly just sort of build up. That's what I usually do. But anyway, we'll get into the game. Brayshaw 25 again against Richmond, a really just depleted midfield. I know Hopper's been playing great. Tim Taranto gets a lot of the footy, but Richmond in general, just actually Thompson Dow's been playing really good too. Not like a depleted midfield, just a bottom four team. Andy Brayshaw, Caleb Sarong absolutely feasted. But yeah, I was confident on Brayshaw. Andy was paying better. Jaden Short, he I don't know if he did like that little double. He kicked it to himself, like, you know, back in the day when you kick out of the square. They gave him an extra posse, but then after quarter time, they took it off. But anyway, he was looking great. I love Jane Short for 20, especially if he's over $1.20. Same boat for Hopper, but can he just like slow down and stop getting 33 because we'll lose value in him. And Thompson Dow as well. We might have to consider him for 20 plus because it's just, we're just losing value in these players. Like, Hopper's going to go down. Dow, Miles Bergman, he got injured. But a lot of players that we're betting on for like $1.40 are just $1.20. He's probably going to be $1.15 next week. And speaking of someone who's still $1.40, Toby Nankervis had only missed twice in his last two games. I think it was like 13 and 14 posies, only just missed, and he's paying $1.40. Like, that is huge value. Someone who's 8 out of 10, their two misses are very close. I just thought he was just couldn't say no to Toby Nankervis. And yeah, he got a lot of it out of the ruck there against Sean Darcy. First game back, you know, had to sit a lot on the bench. So Toby Nankervis is going up against Paddy Voss. Yeah, I just think it was a great game for Nankervis. But yeah, that was the first game of the Sunday. And then we go on to, oh yeah, this was then my actual one. Oh, we'll focus on the safe bet. I was chatting to someone in the comments section about being slightly like getting cold feet on Jack Steele. And look, it wasn't necessarily because, like, I didn't think Toby Bedford was going to be on Jack Steele. I thought Toby Bedford was like 100% going to be on McRae. It's the role he plays. He plays a tagger on like the on-ball mid. But the reason I was a bit worried with Sinclair was because Dane Zorko missed. And I'm like, I don't know if halfbacks are going to do well in the smaller oval. And Jack Sinclair was like kind of teetering. I was like, he's not going to make it. But got a couple of kickouts and played up the ground a little bit, got the footy. So I'm glad Jack Sinclair actually got 25 because, yeah, I advised Jack Sinclair for 25. I was kind of annoyed at myself that I wussed out. But Calabaz was the one who was asking if I was going to stick with this. And I was like, I'm 90% sure. And as game day came around, I'm like, fuck, no, I'm taking out Sinclair for 20. I'm taking out 25, putting him in for 20, and putting in Josh Kelly for 20. And then I put in Wanganeen Miller, who's like 10 out of 10. He was like $1.15 just to get me the extra odds. But whatever those little changes were, Himmelberg was the one I included in my bet, and the one I included in the video. And like I've literally said it with Dacos, Cherry, there was someone else. These little outlier games. Lockie Bramall 2 weeks ago. But these outlier games, like Harry Himmelberg is very consistent. He usually gets around 80 to 24 posies. I've even like called him Mr. Consistent. For him to have a really quiet game like this, you know, I'm just going to put it to a one-off. And also, it doesn't help when Lockie Ash gets fucking 20 posies in the first half. I'm like, share it round, Ash. So he made Lockie Whitfield barely get any of it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Lockie Whitfield did actually hit in the end. So I'm just having a double check. Because I didn't have a money on Whitfield. I wasn't that confident in the backman to get 25 at the smaller oval. Lockie Whitfield got 24. There you go. Fuck me. So Zorko 24, Whitfield 24, and then, well, Sinclair 26. So he hit in the end. But yeah, Himmelberg missed. Another backman there. But far out. Yeah, Lockie Ash taking so much of his footy. Yeah, I'd bet on Himmelberg next week, depending on what he's paying. But yeah, he's 9 out of 10. I don't know if he'll still be 9 out of 10 because that other miss was a while ago. So he could be 8 out of 10, but still, I really like him, especially when he's $1.40 like every time. Connor Iden and Mason Wood I thought were locks. Mason Wood missed the week before on 13, so I thought, yeah, he's going to hit. Playing up the wing, also having marks up forward, shots at goal. I really like what Mason Wood does, and just a strong mark. Yeah, everyone else I liked. Wanganeen Miller is popping off, but he's not quite just there for me in that 25 posi bracket. I think he missed the week before for 25 too. Fantastic. Playing so well, great kick. But yeah, teetering on 25 for me. Josh Kelly hasn't missed 20 all year and was $1.20, so he's been fantastic. He got like 6 posies in 5 minutes in the first quarter after not touching it for 10 minutes. So yeah, I love Kelly, get a lot of the footy. Anyway, so moving on to the last game of the round. Oh yeah, and because this one, or both of them actually, missed by one leg, remember, all the bets you do should have a bonus bet thing, same game, multi, refund, whatever the heck. If one leg fails, get a bonus bet. That's why we're able to do this and then put our bonus bet in literally the exact same thing. You don't have to do anything stupid, tricky. I always like to put it in the safe bet first. If I've got another spare random bonus bet, I might do something extra. But again, that's only if you're in a position where you're up or you, it's only in a position if you're up or you're willing to lose that sort of money. This one, Carl Amon, I said it in the start of the video, what a fucking last quarter. He had 9 posies in the last quarter. He was on 12 going into the fourth quarter, and I'm like, I feel like this one's done. But Zach Guthrie did it on Thursday. Can Amon do it? He got a bunch of kickouts, and I feel like players will like Amon know their stats. Like, I feel like he'll make his way down, take a kick out. If he's getting tackled and got the footy, he'll fucking do an effort to get a little handball out of it. Or there was actually a kick, and I think it was going into halftime. He got the footy like right as the siren went, and the siren went, he just put it on his boot, kicked it, and then the whistle's blown to end halftime, and they counted that stat. He was on 7 posies going into halftime, and I know, like, I'm pretty sure it's when the umpire blows their whistle anyway, as to when the posies stop. But, you know, there's been times where it's like they review it, or like the siren sounds. Is it if someone's having a shot at goal from like a play on, if they have a kick, and the siren goes when they kick, it's like, oh, did the siren beat it? But I'm like, I always thought it was when the umpires blow their whistle. Because yeah, Carl Amon, he got 7 posies, and that last posie he got just before halftime, he kicked that after the siren, and they still gave it to him. So yeah, anyway, that was fantastic. We needed those posies, right? Because he was otherwise going to be on 6 at halftime. But yeah, so super grateful for Carl Amon for still hitting. Willem Drew, fucking huge, and he was like $1.30, so 9 out of 10. Couldn't say no to Willem Drew. James Sicily hit 20, luckily, but what he was doing in that game is what I'm worried about. That's why I won't bet on him for 20 at the moment, even though he did hit 20. Don't know where he's going to play. When Hawthorn were losing by like 40 points, 50 points, he's thrown in the forward line. And, you know, at that rate, you're like, well, he's never going to fucking touch the footy again. He still did. He got a lot of it, had a couple of shots. I can't remember if he did kick a goal or 2. But yeah, the point is, like, usually I don't like a full forward for posies. There might be a couple of exceptions. I kind of like Riley Thilthorpe at the moment. I like Joe Danaher last year. He's retired. But otherwise, there's no other forwards I like. I just like James Sicily if he's playing defense. I hate that fucking swing roll for posies, but 15 I thought was going to be safe no matter what. Kane Farrell taking kickouts, looking great at half back. You know, that Dan Houston role. I know Burgoyne's gone down there a bit as well, but yeah, I like Kane Farrell for 15. The Hornet. Now, did I not? I said this in the video. I said we took Hornet for a goal for I think it was 3 weeks in a row. It might have only been 2. We have taken Hornet for a goal. I think. Well, I might have done another personal bet, but like the last 3 weeks, goal. He's like 9 out of 10. And as soon as this week comes around, I'm like, I'm gonna switch over to Hornet for 20 posies. We have got a lot out of him for a goal. I just feel like something's in the water, something's in the air where we just need to go Hornet for 20 instead of a goal. He had a set shot, missed. So, and we got him for 20. So he has scoring shots, he has opportunities. I'm very bullish for him next week. So I still think he's going to have a shot. Well, he got the free kick. I think he's going to mark it, play on, burst out of the center, whatever the heck. He's got ample opportunity to have a goal. And then hopefully he's paying even better next week. So he was $1.26, $1.28 going into this game. Yeah, really like him for a goal next week. Carl Amon, who I've just absolutely sung his praises. I can't believe he came back and did that. That was fantastic. But yeah, anyway, I think that's all the bets for this week. So I'm going to stop the recording now. And we will go on to our Game 6 bets on Thursday. So I'll talk to you guys then. All right, peace. I just reminded myself when I was recording the St Kilda Doggies game that there was some huge value in the 15 posi bracket, and sometimes I do this. I don't always include it in my betting tips. I might in future, but I go through and I include one person from like each game. Usually I don't do this many legs. I think you only need 4 to get the multi refund token. But again, just depending on which bookie you use, see if they do things like this, because this one's through Neds. They do if you pick one player from each game, I always pick sort of my favorite and best value player. And a couple of these have got up, but like I said, I usually only keep it to 4 or 5. I think I got a little bit greedy. Just that Mason Wood value was insane, $1.57. I'm like, all right, I want to include all the good value players like Joel Jeffrey, I like Luke Nankervis, all $1.50. Like this leg is $11, and it's just 7 people for the rest of the games. Oh, it doesn't even include the Geelong Hawthorn game, so I haven't included that. But yeah, essentially, I can just maybe zoom in a little bit, go through it. These first few here, Hewitt, Marek, Petrarca, I've all included in my own bets. And then the other half of that was Joel Jeffrey, Nick Blakey, and Mason Wood. Like I said, all are in my individual bets. And when you think about it, they're all the ones I like the most, just with a little bit of value. So I think, like maybe for instance, Luke Nankervis, I might actually like Worrell or, oh, I didn't even, no, there was someone else in there for $1, or Ben Keys. Maybe them I like a little bit more, but Luke Nankervis for $1.50, and he's, you know, been fantastic. Petrarca's great. Marek will get a bunch of kickouts. Hewitt, or I could go like Sheasel, but yeah, I like Hewitt for the price, the value. This is awesome. So yeah, just a little thing. Maybe if you want me to include it in future, maybe I can pick out my favorite players. I forgot to do it actually before the Brisbane game, and I'm glad I did, because I probably would have done either Zorko. I would have Dacos or Zorko. Zorko was paying better, but yeah, far out. That's 3 weeks in a row. Anyway, yeah, maybe I can include maybe my favorite player from each round. So if you guys wanted to do something like this, doesn't have to be this huge. It just needs to be 4 legs to get the refund. But again, that might vary on which bookie you guys use. So anyway, that's the multi pick for this week. I'll go on to the rest of the bets after this. Alrighty, we're here for the round 6 bets, just for the Brisbane Collingwood game. That was Thursday night. That was posted on the YouTube thing, the YouTube post section. Very unfortunate that a lot of the Brisbane legs that I picked, not just for this one, but for other ones I highlighted, just all missed because Collingwood were too fucking good. On the positive side, Nick Dacos, I've got already like 4 bets on Dacos for the Brownlow, so that was good to see him popping off. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, we'll move on. That one was posted in the YouTube section, so let's go straight to North Carlton, which is the second game. The Good Friday game, 3:20. Oh shit, yeah, I need to get this out soon. It's in 3 hours. I will go straight through my selections. So I've picked Sheasel and Hewitt for 25, LDU, Chera, and Simpkin for 20, and Cherry for 15. So in the 15 posi bracket, I really like Cherry. He had that one miss, and that was against Wits, who just bodied him. Just, yeah, I don't know, made him work really hard. Couldn't get a lot of the footy. And his own Cherry has only had one posi game that was sub double digits, and it was once last year in round 4. So similar round. It's round 5 now. And then after that game where he got 9 posies in round 4, he only missed the 15 posi bracket twice out of the whole year. So I believe that'll be a similar situation for Cherry this year. I believe that 9 is just an outlier. And look, he might have 2 or 3 misses for the rest of the year, but I really think he'll bounce back and get 15. $1.36 too, which is just great value. Adam Sard I've highlighted. I'm going to start highlighting just a couple more of the orange $1.10 to $1.19 players, because I typically don't include them for like a safe bet. I say typically, like I still do, but they're really handy to boost the extra bets that I do. I typically avoid the red, but yeah, the orange is where I'll dab into for that. Elijah Hollins, I've highlighted orange. I would just rather watch and see what happens for his first game. He was great to bet on last year, but obviously with all the off-field controversy, I would just rather see him play first. I don't want to be betting on him, especially for $1.18. Like, he's coming in, like, what was it, round 6? So it's a month and a half, right? Everyone's like conditioned themselves, like finally hit the ground running. Everyone's got like a minimum a month of footy under their belt, and he's coming in for his first game of the year after doing who knows what over the off season, and he's $1.18. I'm like, what? No chance. Like, if he hits, good on him, but I'm like, there's no way I'm taking that risk. I would rather go George Wardlaw, but again, same boat. Like, he's 10 out of 10, great. I'd much rather take that risk with him. He's averaging more posies than Hollins. But Wardlaw, again, just, I feel like I would rather bet on like a Tom Powell or a LDU. Maybe it's like I wouldn't bet on a Luke Parker, but I just want to see what George Wardlaw can do first. Maybe he could even be subbed, who knows. He's listed on the interchange for this game today, and as of right now, haven't done the subs. I know that usually comes out like an hour before the game. But yeah, like I said, the point is I've highlighted them because like I wouldn't take that chance right now. There's much better options I'd rather go. Colby McKercher, who had an absolute stinker. So on the AFL app, it said sub injured, but yeah, he was tax subbed. He had such a quiet game. 8 posies in 3 quarters is not great. If he played the full game, he's still getting like maybe 12, which doesn't look as bad. But yeah, it just looks really rough there with that 8, especially when he's averaging like 21 before that. His games to start the year are just over they've been pretty good, usually over the 15 posi bracket, and I've spoken in like the last 2 videos. He has always been a 20 posi bracket player last year, but now he's 15. So if you're willing to look past that 8, then go for it, like I am. I've just got other players I want to pick first. Like, I like Cherry, but yeah, it's much of a muchness. Like Colby McKercher, I could easily see bouncing back. Darcy Tucker, who I am very bullish on. I've maybe included in another little one. I think he's great playing off the wing. There was a stretch where he was playing half back a bit and he didn't get as much of the footy. He eventually started racking it up again, but I feel like he's much better on the wing. And with Zach Fisher back there, Zach Fisher, Caleb Daniel, they can go crazy, do what they want in the back line, posi wise. But yeah, I like Darcy Tucker on the wing. 8 out of 10, averaging 20 in his last 3 games. He hasn't missed to start the year, but that's excluding that round 1 sub. So yeah, I didn't include his sub game there because there's no point. He played a quarter of footy. But otherwise, apart from that, yeah, he's looked great to start the year. Luke McDonald, I highlighted and said last week that, like, even though I think he was 8 for 10, or was he 9 for 10? I think he was 8 for 10. And I highlighted, like, look, that is very flattering for Luke McDonald because he was 10 of 22 last year. So he is missing more games than he's hitting. So yeah, he's in a bit of a good patch at the moment, but with Zach Fisher on the side and Caleb Daniel there as well, they're getting like 60 posies together. So how much more footy is there to be shared with like Luke McDonald in the back line there? So like I've highlighted just because, you know, the start to the year has been good, but yeah, like Zach Fisher's been back, so maybe just wary. Like not quite a yellow, like I could still maybe bet on him, but better options, just be careful. And I think it's just because he's good value. If he was like $1.30, I wouldn't be highlighting him at all. But $1.67 is Very tempting. There's definitely a point where you take the risk versus reward, I guess. If they're paying that price, it's pretty tempting. Caleb Daniel has actually gone up to $1.11 for 20 posies, and I've been like very hesitant on him all year for the 25 posie bracket. I've actually highlighted him, but man, he's just fucking smashing it. He's one quiet game where he got 25 posies, but he still got 32 with Zach Fisher on the side. So I really like Caleb Daniel. Very close to including him, but anyway, we'll get to the 25 posie bracket in a second. LDU, his one miss was 19. Really like. Did I include him? I did. Just because I've loved what he's been able to do. He was usually a go-to for 25 posie bracket for me. So if I see him for $1.11 in the 20, yeah, you bet I'm jumping on. He's down in form, but he's still averaging over like 3 posies, what we need him to do in this bracket to start the year. Adam Chera as well. I've included him here. So the reason this leg, this bet is actually a bit longer than usual. Usually I only do like 4 or 5 legs. This one I've got 6. It's because of these 2 picks here. Like LDU and Adam Chera, I just think are absolutely shoo-ins for 20 posies. Adam Chera to start the year has been on fire. I've been wanting to bet on him for the 25 posie bracket. So if I see him here for 20, I'm just in the 20 posie bracket, $1.13, averaging 25 over his last 3. Yeah, I really like Adam Chera. Paddy Cripps has actually dropped off a lot in terms of possessions. I know he kicked like 3 goals last week, but yeah, anyway, so I really like Adam Chera. There's one more player I like more, which is in the bet, which we'll get to in the 25. Zach Fisher in his first game back, 27 posies, just, yeah, absolutely looked great. The 13 though there in his miss was when he was subbed off last year, but the thing you got to worry is he was subbed 3 out of like the 18 games. Doesn't sound like a lot, but someone who's getting 20 posies, if they're subbed 3 times in that 1 year, I don't know. I like him, but just not quite enough to include him, although he's a very tempting price. But when you've got Jai Simpkin here, 10 out of 10, averaging almost 26 posies in his last 3 weeks, just looking great. So yeah, I'd much rather include Jai Simpkin for that one. Luke Parker I've highlighted, but he's hit every game. He's probably the player that I'm more worried about what's going to happen to his posies now George Wardlaw's back in the side. I much prefer Tom Powell. Green and Green, to be honest, I don't know exactly why I've included him. It's maybe a part of this. I don't know if he is just getting like 20s, like 21, 22, 20. Like he's just. So with Wardlaw in there taking a couple more posies, yeah, I just feel like he could just get like a 19 or 18, just not quite hit because of this. So yeah, we'll see what happens to Tom Powell there. But yeah, I don't blame you again. He's green and green. I usually love hitting players that are green and green, but there's just, you know, this is all objective. This is all stats, but you also got to consider maybe what's going to happen on game day and how the team's going to change. That isn't highlighted here yet because it hasn't happened. No one else there I really like. So we can go to the 25 posi bracket. Sam Walsh, amazing. He's such a good runner. Really like him for 25. I was so tempted to include him, but yeah, I think George Hewitt, after when he got like 39, he's absolutely just, yeah, beasting. 31 posies. And I feel like with Cripps going down a bit, I feel like George, did I say Wardlaw? George Hewitt. George Hewitt, I really like him. Especially with Paddy Cripps' drop off in form. Like he's averaging 7 posies less than what he usually does. Like that's insane. Yeah, really like Hewitt. Caleb Daniel I've spoke about. I really like him for the 25, but just yeah, can't quite do it when I see Hewitt or Sheasel as well. 10 out of 10. Like I skip over him because there's not much more to say. Just getting so much of the footy. Really like Sheasel. There's not much risk there. If he misses, I'm going to jump on him next week. Someone I don't have to worry about. LDU, he's starting to creep back in the 25 posi bracket. He's working his way up. Again, just hesitant on the Wardlaw inclusion. I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have. Plus, Carlton in general just get a lot of the footy between their mids. Like, yeah, you got Walsh, Cripps, Hewitt, Chera. Might just be hesitant on LDU there. But yeah, anyway, so that's the bet for this one. There's not much really for the goal kickers. Like, Charlie Curnow, maybe could, yeah, I'm just not really tempted by any of the goal kickers here. Jack Darling, maybe. Lewis Young playing the forward. Camzer, yeah, like, I don't know. There's no one I'm really like that tempted on. By price, form, feel,
nothing's really ticking the boxes here. So that's the bet for the North Carlton game. So we can move on to, oh, actually, and someone also asked, actually, before I move on, oh, that's the wrong one. Someone also asked who should I tip in these games. I might include that maybe as a separate thing. I'm talking about the overall winner. Because my footy tipping is not great. That's why I usually stick to just the players. I'm very, very, I'm usually pretty switched on with who's playing well, what role changes are happening. But in terms of this game, I think North will actually turn it around. They've had a couple of rough weeks, still playing okay. Like they gave Gold Coast a decent challenge for 3 quarters, and Carlton have obviously been struggling for months. And then they've just had an easy kill against West Coast. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe their confidence is up, but I just feel like North just are really wanting to prove themselves. So yeah, I think North actually will get the job done for this one. I might try this. My tips might be awful. I'm not going to really record it anywhere because I don't bet on the game result. But yeah, just remember that. The next game, which is game 3, the Essendon West Coast game. They're all spread out. That's right. It's the long weekend. So, and it's Friday today. It feels like Saturday. I was at the footy last night, so yeah, it feels like the weekend's only just started, but it's Friday. Essendon West Coast. So this one, look at all the Essendon players here, and I have a couple of decent legs. Shield, Martin, Durham, Perkins, Merritt, all for posies, and then I have Ryan Marrick. So again, anyone who's been watching the West Coast games, Ryan Marrick is absolutely killing it in the back line there, taking so many kickouts, like anywhere between like 5 and 10 kickouts, and I'll get into it now, but even while I know Jeremy McGovern is back, Ryan Marrick was getting 26 and 28 with him in the side. Like, if anything, I think this actually helps him because McGovern will be playing the big body defender, and he's been looking gassed as well. So McGovern has been looking gassed, and it's been a nice relief for him where Marrick is just happy to run, switch the play, be an option, take kickouts. Like, if Jeremy McGovern is just being bodied by, I don't know, Peter Wright's playing, or what's the other caddy? If he's having to look after those boys, and then sometimes the last thing he wants to do is run back for a kick out if they miss. So that's where Ryan Marrick will step up. And $1.33, so he's gone up in value because of that McGovern inclusion. And yeah, I just think that actually helps him, not hinders him. Anyway, back to the 15. I included Archie Perkins for 15. One, because a lot of the Essendon players, a lot of the mids feast against West Coast. West Coast have like given up the most footy this year. There was that stat where they only had 77 contested possessions, which was like the lowest in 100 years or something. And yeah, a lot of the opposing midfielders just go to town. So Archie Perkins has hit all 3 games to start the year. He's only played the 3, or was it the 4? Let me just double check that. Archie Perkins. I write little notes beforehand, but I was like, I thought he's played... no, he's only played 3. Yeah, so I think that's good value there when he'll have a little bit of... play high half forward, rotate around the ball. Ben Hobbs has stepped up too. It was kind of a muchness who I'm going to pick between them. But yeah, I like Perkins. Reed played a little bit of half... Well, when he did play halfback, he got 25 posies. Even if he's playing on ball, he's still a chance. His 2 misses are only 12. So a player like that doesn't really matter where they're playing. If he's playing mid, yeah, he's a chance. If he's playing half back, then he's a good chance to get the footy. So yeah, don't mind including him, but I haven't. Jeremy McGovern might be a great leg if you're just wanting to extend the bet a little bit more. Hardly misses 15. Only concern there is injury for him. That 15 in his system there last week was in 3 quarters of footy where he got that ankle problem and then came out of the game. So yeah, I like McGovern there. Jack Graham, just a little bit too short. I do like him. I don't think he's missed since playing with West Coast, but $1.18, I don't know. I feel like it's always hard to back a midfielder for a team that's just going to absolutely get rolled in the middle. So I do like Liam Baker though, that being said, but I don't know. Something about him where I feel like he is running a lot better, providing options. Yeah, I like Liam Baker more if I'm to choose between Jack Graham and Baker. And plus, Liam Baker is like, what is that? 22 cents better at $1.40. So yeah, I'd much rather take Baker. But again, I haven't because I've settled with Ryan Marrick with the kickouts. But yeah, anyway, that's the 15 posi bracket. So in the 20, Dylan Shield, Martin Durham. Like, Dylan Shield's 2 misses are 19-19. Sam Durham had a 16. To be honest, I can't remember what game that was. That was their last game last year. Nick Martin, 10 out of 10. All these guys were just I was looking at them. I'm like, if I'm going to pick one, my strategy was I was going to pick one for 25. I'm like, I really like Durham for 25, or I like Shield for 25. I'm like, oh, they're great value, $1.78 and $1.80. I really like both. But I was like, I feel like all of them have the chance to hit. Usually I don't like, I never like betting on like too many players, let alone too many in the same position, right? Like I would never bet on Dan Rioli, John Noble, Joel Jeffrey, Will Power. Like I just wouldn't bet on them all because I'd rather bet on one, thinking like who's in better form, who's playing well, and then I might bet on the midfield or I'll bet on a goal kicker. Like this feels very odd how I'm betting on Shield, Martin, Durham. I know Martin plays a bit in the forward line as well, which will actually help because I feel like Essendon will pump West Coast. And I've also got Merritt too. Like I feel like I've really just put all my eggs in the one basket here. I'm going all in the Essendon's mid. I'm assuming they're going to kick a decent score. That's including behinds. That's why I've got Ryan Marrick there. So yeah, I could have easily I was tempted to do Setterfield as well. I do like Baker, but yeah, Essendon is showing some really good signs. And was it who they played last week? It was not Adelaide. Melbourne in Adelaide. That's right. And they looked really good. So yeah, I'm jumping on a lot of the Essendon mid for this game, which again like feels very odd. There's another bet, another option here. Zach Merritt for 30. So in his last 3 games, 36, 34, 37, he's $1.55. I really like. I feel like he's just going to absolutely run wild. But if I was including all, I would have to do like Zach Merritt for 30, and then like Durham for 25 or Shield for 25. I couldn't do Merritt for 30. And then Shield, Martin, Durham. I'm like, all right, let's just lower our expectations for Merritt just a little bit. I don't see anything really slowing him down in this game, but I just wanted to be a little bit conservative before going too crazy there. But I do like that. I would just have to take out another leg. Liam Ryan has kicked a goal in all 3 games this year. Yeah, I feel like he's every chance. It's at Optus. They're going to score a couple of goals. $1.22 seems pretty good value for him. Sam Draper fucked over one of my biggest like multis last week. Not him. It was actually Brian. What's his first name? The other ruckman who got injured. Very unlucky. Done his ACL. Feel for him. That's super unlucky. And yeah, all the best to his recovery. And yeah, hope to see him back soon. On the other hand, though, Sam Draper really stepped up in the ruck. He looked amazing, especially against Max Gawn. So yeah, Sam Draper. I was actually tempted to bet on for posies, but look at this. Look at Sam Draper for posies. He's hit 1 out of 10, and he's $1.26. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. That is so fucking wild. Anyway, I've highlighted him for yellow for the goal kickers because he's only going to have a small window to rest up forward, if that. Because when he's going to have a rest, he's going to get subbed. Peter Wright will step into the ruck. Who's the other one who helped relieve the ruck last week? I did watch the game. Fuck, it's slipped my mind. Wasn't Jones, was it? Anyway, I forgot. But yeah, the point is Sam Draper will have very limited opportunities to kick a goal. So $1.28 and 9 out of 10 is not what it seems. Jamie Cripps, Matt Owies, again, it's the same deal with every other thing about West Coast. It's like, it's very hard to bet on them for a goal or posies when I see them just getting pumped by possibly 100 points. Essendon at Optus, maybe 60 points. But yeah, anyway, I've included them there, so yeah, go for it. The next one, which, oops, I'm on the wrong sheet on my other monitor. The first game of Saturday, which is the West Coast, not West Coast, I'm just looking at the other thing. Freo and Melbourne. Oh, actually, Melbourne Freo. It's at the MCG. So for my bet for that one, I've gone Max Gawn for 15 and Shai Bolton for 15. I like them both. And then in the 20 posi bracket, we've gone 3. I've gone Petrarca and Bowie, right? And then I've just sprinkled in Oliver for 20, just as a little. I couldn't leave him because Clayton Oliver, I usually go for 25, but he got 24 last week. I'm like, I think he's going to bounce back, but I just like these other options better. And I'm like, I can't also have Clayton Oliver for 25. It's just too much risk. Just 20. You'll get 20. No worries. But anyway, the rest of them. So we'll go to the 15. I'll start off with the ones I picked. Max Gawn and Shai Bolton. Max Gawn's one miss was that one against North, right? Where Simon Goodwin pretty much told everyone Max Gawn's personal life, or not told them, teased it. But ever since then, 15, 15, 22, I think Max Gawn you know, everyone's talking about how he's fading out or whatever, but I think he's still one of the best ruckmen going round, and he is always good to get some of the footy. So, yeah, really like Max Gawn. Shai Bolton, his one miss for Freo was 14. I said this last video, but exclude all these misses that he's had here. That was when he wasn't giving a shit playing for Richmond. Not giving a shit, it's a bit harsh, but he would have quarters where he'd get like 0 posies. So he's looking a lot better in the Freo side. He could have got more than 19. He was looking, I think he was on like 10 or 11 or 12 or something, half time or early in the third. Slowed down a little bit, but yeah, the point is he's looking great. So really like him now playing at Freo. Tom McDonald's getting a lot of the footy in the back line there, but if there is, Bailey Fritsch and someone else was dropped, the forwards for Jacob Van Rooyen, both dropped. So I know Tom Fullerton's playing, but he might, he'll take some, he used to take some of the ruck at Brisbane. Don't know really what to make of that, but I'm just not that confident McDonald. I don't know if he'll get thrown forward. He hasn't all year. I know Harrison Petty's been the one to get thrown forward, but yeah, just a little bit of hesitancy on that pick. Xavier Lindsay, I was so tempted to include. He was probably my next in line for this one. So he's only had 1 miss by 1 posie, but that was the game coming back after his injury. Here you got like subbed off to, did he even score? Anyway, he super low, or very early injury for that game. So yeah, like the rookie, getting a lot of it in the back line there. But I'll speak, I like Bowie, I've got him included next. But Cozzy Pickett, in his first 2 games to start the year, 22, 23. He's getting 50% CBAs, huge increase. He usually comes in there every so often, like a Cam Rayner or, that's it, I'm out of examples. He'll usually come in and just help provide a bit of a spark, but 50% is huge. Ed Langdon, usually free for 15. I like Stephen May. He missed last week. I think he'll bounce back, but $1.11, it's like, yeah, fuck it. I'd rather just go Clayton Oliver after he missed. Matty Johnson's been looking great in Freo's mid. There's no O'Driscoll. I know he usually plays wing, but Hayden Young's back, so just Hayden Young played a lot forward. Just he will probably slowly up his midfield time, so just watch out for that. In the 20 posie bracket, Jordan Clark I like. If he was just $1.20, that would be awesome. He might get to that price before game day. Luke Ryan missed. That's 16 as he was subbed, but that's not, like, these other scores are not sub-affected. He can have games like that. But yes, I do know he played only 75% of that game, but yeah, wouldn't really include him. Hayden Young, who I literally just said, played a lot of it up forward. He only played 69% game time too, and I reckon that'll slowly increase to 80%, but it's not going to happen this week. Or maybe, I don't know, but I feel like they're still just going to ease him into it. But yeah, he looked great, and 18 posies in his first game back and playing a lot up forward. Yeah, so I've highlighted him, but I just think I need maybe 1 more game from him before I go on 20 posie bracket. And then, like, why would I go Hayden Young when Christian Petrarca, 9 out of 10, like, even all the time he has been playing up forward, he is still getting 50% CBAs, getting a lot of the footy. Even if he's really stressed, he is still playing really well, getting a lot of it, which we love to see. So yeah, if I'm tossing up between the two there, I'd much rather go Christian Petrarca for 20. Jake Bowie though, so to start the year, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's 1 miss, 19 posies. Like, it's pretty much 20. That's very close. He's been someone I was so bullish on last year. Got injured, missed a bunch of footy, but I didn't think he would go from the 15 to 20 posie bracket so quick. Like, over his last 3 games, 23 posie average, looking great. Even with Stephen May, with Xavier Lindsay, like, he's still getting so much of it, taking plenty of the kickouts. So his kickouts for Melbourne this year, it's not like huge. I actually took none last week and still got 23 posies. That is insane. Stephen May still takes the lion's share, I was about to say, but Jake Bowie is usually good for 1, 2, 3, 4 kickouts, which is all right. It does help when he's getting 20. That almost helps solidify that pick even more. If he didn't take a single kick out and got 23, I'd love to see that. Love to see that. That is awesome for Jake Bowie. Yeah, I really like him. He's one of those players, like, if he does miss, I'm still bullish on the next week. Clayton Oliver, who I spoke about, highlighted, really wanted to jump on, but there's just other options down here that I like a little bit more than Clayton Oliver for 25. That's why I've included him for 20. I'm like, that should just be easy for you. Yes, like I know he is 8 out of 10. It might not look like a certainty there, but yeah, to start the year, he's been very good. You know, butchering it a little bit, but again, doesn't matter when he's on his hands and knees, just flicking out the loose ball. It doesn't look like a handball, kind of like liver, but it still counts on the stat sheet, which is perfect. Andy Brayshaw, I like, just slightly too short. Same as Sarong. Yeah, if Andy Brayshaw is like $1.25, bang, he's in. Or actually, maybe be careful. I just might highlight this in case, again, people just look at this without audio. Tom Sparrows had like 2 weeks in a row. He did last week for a little bit, right? I know Zach Merritt still popped off. I don't know. Tom Sparrow's like never tagged, and then he's done it 2 weeks in a row. So just, I don't even know if it's an issue, but just careful for that. Josh Tracy, I've actually, look at this, $1.01 for a goal. Look at this for 3 goals. He is 8 of 10 to kick 3 or more, $1.57. So the thing is, I placed this bet and I didn't notice that, and I was placing it and I was like, oh shit, he's kicked 3 or more. And so I went down and just included it as a separate thing. And I was like, that is actually great value. So if you're placing this bet from scratch, like I would almost then, you could almost include it, because I like all the players there. If you're not confident in Bowie, like I am, but if you're not confident in Bowie, you could take him out. If you're not confident in Gaunt, like I'm confident in all these players. That's why I made the bet in the first place. But if you want to include someone else, I just hate making it sometimes too risky, like adding another leg, asking a bit much for Tracy. Well, it's not a bit much. 8 out of 10 to kick 3. I really like that. He's averaging 3 goals a game, coming off 6. Yeah, so really like that selection there. Just highlighted that as a sneaky little extra one there. Adelaide GWS. Oh, actually, did I say who's going to win? This one, I think... Yeah, actually, I should open my tips. I do footy tipping. Again, like I said, it's not great, but I'll just have who I tipped here. Oh, what the heck? I gotta log in. Okay, I will just make it on the fly. I think Freo at the G. Freo should be like finals bound, and Melbourne are in kind of all sorts at the moment. Alright, the next game. Adelaide GWS. This one at Adelaide. Adelaide have had a nice stint at home. I'm going to say I'll tip GWS actually, even though Adelaide are favourites and it's at Adelaide. But my bet here, okay, this one was so many good options, so many good ones. And I'm going to go straight to my first one here. I feel like my boy is back. I've been so bullish on Nankervis, and anyone who's watched these videos, I pretty much had him in every Adelaide bet last year. The only time I didn't is if he was like down to like $1.20, which, like, speaking of, I think if he continues this as well, the same thing that happened to Bergman is going to happen to Luke Nankervis. You've probably seen Miles Bergman was just super consistent, really great. $1.50, $1.40, like awesome odds, great value. This year, he's gone straight to like $1.11. I was like, what the fuck? That's insane. So I don't know if there's just been a wave of money, or just because, I don't know, just an extra year. Miles Bergman is great for Port Adelaide. They speak really highly of him, but it was like, man, that's such a huge jump. $1.40 straight to $1.10. Like, just give me some $1.30s, $1.20s first. But yeah, so I don't think that change will happen so quick to Luke Nankervis. But yeah, I just feel like it's a great time to get him for $1.50. His first game back, he was subbed, so we exclude that. So his actual real first game back, he hit 18 posies. Against that in the Geelong game. So like what I see there from Luke Nankervis, I'm going to jump on him no matter what. Or unless something crazy happens with his role. But even his misses, right? 13, 14, 12. Someone who gets a lot of the footy. I'm never that worried of him having an absolute stinker, because he can get a lot of it on half back, get 5 posies a quarter. Yeah, really like that. Toby Green, big start to the year, like huge start to the year actually. I just know, like in the back of my mind, he can have quiet ones. How long is this purple patch going to last? Well, it's not like a purple patch. I'm just talking about his high posies. Toby Green, ever since, being in the like forward line, yeah, he will teeter around 15, but yeah, he's doing well above what he needs to do at the moment. But yeah, like, I think I would just rather go like Josh Worrell, who hit as well, playing on like a lockdown role on Dangerfield. So if he's still you know, putting defense number one priority, he's still getting 15 posies, which I love. And he and Ben Keys, did I include Ben Keys? I did. He and Ben Keys are both one game off being 10 out of 10. And they're $1.26 and $1.36. Like, that is crazy. And Connor Iden had like his first miss in like 20 something games. And like, he's $1.30. I just think that is insane value. Keys and Iden will probably play on each other. And I've gone both of them for posies. I just think they're both great. Oh, Himmelberg, I was going to include for 15 posies just because I like him for 20, but man, that 14 scared the shit out of me. And especially when Lockie Ash got like 20 posies in the first half, I was like, far out. So now Lockie Ash is $1.16. He and Himmelberg always used to be like pretty much the same price. Maybe like 5 cents different. But yeah, Lockie Ash after that game is just... He has overtaken Finn Callahan and Josh Kelly. Well, not overtaken, they're the same price. And it's probably gone alphabetically, but it looks like he's overtaken. So yeah, Lockie Ash I do like, but for $1.19, I'll find someone else. He's gone up 7.6 posies in his last 3 games. Yeah, so like I would rather go Himmelberg. Like Himmelberg has had a game like that where he's gone 15, and the week before he's bounced back. Yeah, shit, I do like Himmelberg. Yeah, I really like Himmelberg. $1.62, 8 out of 10. Even though that last game, like I think, yeah, he was very quiet. He was, yeah, very quiet. But like, how often can you expect Lockie Ash to be getting 20 posies in a half? And meanwhile, Lockie Whitfield is still getting like 25. I think he actually got 24. Yeah, he got 24 last week. Yeah, I like Harry Himmelberg. So I'm thinking because like, fuck, I didn't include him. Maybe I do another one. But I do like everyone else in this bet. So I've gone Josh Kelly and Rankin. Like, I like both of them. Josh Kelly had 6 posies in like 5 or 4 minutes in that first quarter. He hadn't touched it for most of it. And then just bang, just got so much of the footy. Great to see. Isaac Rankin has been playing so much in the mid. His CBAs for this year have just skyrocketed. So it started off like 37, 33, but he's gone now to 70%, 60%. But yes, Crouch is playing Saligo, Dawson, they're all in the mid there, but Rankin is still getting a lot of the footy. And that 15 is included there, but that was a tactical sub game. Usually I include the tactical subs here in the stats. If it's an injury or something happens, I don't include it because I'm like, well, they could have played the whole game. But if they're getting subbed because that's a play of the coach or a play of the team or to play whatever the heck, whatever the reason is, a tack sub, I feel like that's a part of their stats. That could happen. If they're getting tack subbed or rested, that could happen again. But an injury, it's like, oh, well, that's just unlucky. But the point is, sorry, he played 3 quarters and got 15, so he easily could have got 20. So yeah, really like Rankin for 20. Finn Callahan I like too, Kelly I like, but I just think, yeah, Kelly I like out of those 3. And yeah, Harry Himmelberg is still in my mind. I just feel like he can bounce back, especially when I see here that he got a 15 last year and then a 24 the week after. Oh man, anyway, sorry, I'm tossing and turning over that one. Jordan Dawson, I've highlighted. I feel like he's going to be the one that cops the Bedford tag. I feel like he is way more damaging, even though he doesn't get as many posies as Matt Crouch. I feel like if you're GWS, you want to tag the best player, like for Adelaide there. Limit what he can do with the footy. If Matt Crouch, I've highlighted here, I like for 25. If he gets 25, 30 posies, they're nowhere near as damaging as what Dawson can do. So it only makes sense, well, to me anyway, where Bedford's going. So yeah, I do like Matt Crouch there. Goal kickers though, Ben Keys, 10 out of 10. I really like. I would have included him if he wasn't already in the 15 posi bracket. Much of a muchness. I just personally prefer the disposal bracket because it's like you slowly see them accumulate instead of that one strike opportunity. Like if it's in the 4th quarter and they haven't kicked a goal, it's like, fuck. I'd much rather them just sort of chip away at it to get what they need. But that's just a personal preference. You might like a goal scorer. Aaron Cadman, great. We had him last week. Didn't kick one until the second half, I don't think. And Jake Riccardi back looks great. Jake Stringer I called last week for a goal. I wouldn't bet on him usually. I just thought he was due. But yeah, I wouldn't bet on him typically. Jesse Hogan, you'd almost bet on him for like 2 or 3, but especially he kicked 2 last week. So I feel like that's a bad game for him. Actually, if I was to do this live, how long would this take? I can show you guys what I will do for this one. Because he's 8 for 10 for 3, right? So I'm not going to add it in how I usually do. I'm just going to do it here. Goal kickers, I'm just going to type it in manually because I can't be bothered copying it all across. He's $1.98. It is against Adelaide though. But let's add in this one. Let's copy his stuff over. 3, I'm just going to call it 3+. Going to highlight it. I also just need to change the colors so it doesn't reflect 1 goal per game. So I'm just going to manually change the color. Usually I have it set up so it does it without me having to do this. But like already, so he's coming off essentially a miss, right? Oh, sorry. And he is $1.98 for 3. Holy heck. See, this is the thing. What the fuck? That's insane. Oh, wait, no, he's not 10 10. Whoa. 8 out of 10. So, see, I usually get all this automated, but when I have to fill it in like this, just impromptu, I will just do it manual. That is still huge value for 3 goals. What is he for 2? $1.30. That's still very good too. What the fuck? Yeah, that is still really good for 2. 2+. He is, what the fuck? He's 10 out of 10 for 2 then. And he is $1.30. Man, I'm like both of those. What the shit? I've already done my bet, but yeah, that is very tempting. Adelaide are good and all. It's at Adelaide, but I still think Hogan is great for 2 goals. Wow. Anyway, there's a little... Oh, could you see that? Was I too far down? Anyway, they're the stats I've just added there for Hogan. So 10 out of 10 for 2 goals, $1.30, or $1.98 for 3. And he's coming off a miss. So, yeah, anyway, there's that one. Sorry, there's another one. This one's got me thinking. I've been thinking about Harry Himmelberg and Jesse Hogan. Watch Himmelberg come out and get 30 posies and Hogan kick 5. Anyway, so the next game, sorry, I've been thinking about that one, is the first one of... No, sorry, we've got one more for the Saturday, which is the Richmond Gold Coast. I've included Dow, Vlosten, Jeffrey, Rioli, and Miller, and start off with Thompson Dow. Look at that, there's no one in the orange posi bracket, in the value, so it's gone straight to $1.20. Thompson Dow, I really like, considering him for 20+, but let's just take him for 15 while we can at that good value. Bailey Humphrey's getting phased out of the mid, so I think he had his time in the sun, well, for the moment anyway. Probably come back around later, but Luke Trainer, 4 to 5 to start his career, I really like. Yeah, I really like. I just think I just want to go someone more consistent when there's these options available. Ben Ainsworth can go missing at times. He can easily have a couple of sub-10 posi games. Jack Ross, roller coaster. Nick Vlosten, he's someone who can average 20 posies. He's had 2 misses, so I think he is 3 of 5 to start the year, but they're very close, 15 and 13. And when he's $1.42, like that is great value there. When he's going to get close regardless. Like a shit Nick Vlosten game is 13 posies. Really like that for Vlosten. Joel Jeffrey, the next one, freaking huge, right? So Gold Coast have another halfbacker that just wants the footy. Like Joel Jeffrey plays like John Noble, where he wants the footy. He's looking for handball receives. Did he get a handball receive and kick a goal in that game, or was that from a mark, or just on the run? Anyway, he's the player who looks hungry, confident, wants the footy, doesn't care if they just fucking like bomb it or make a mistake. They just want it again. Like I really like those players who just play with confidence, and Joel Jeffrey has been showing that to start the year, and $1.57 is insane. So this 9 out of 10, there's just a little asterisk to go with that, because 2 games out of his last month, he was subbed. Was he subbed off, or what was my little note here? There's 2 sub-affected games that I've excluded, which were 8 and 7 posies. But the way he's playing at the moment, I don't think I'll sub. Oh, so he was subbed. Let me just double check. Joel Jeffrey, super coach. I think, yeah, so last year he was subbed off twice in the back end of last year, around 19 and 21. And like I said with sort of the tax sub, how that could happen again, I've written in my notes, I'm not including him just for the moment because the way he's playing, he's not going to get subbed for form. Like, it's just not happening. So this 9 out of 10, I think, really reflects what he's playing at the moment. Yeah, so I really like what I'm seeing there from Joel Jeffrey. Will Power I like, but just he's having to play, you know, on the small defenders, a bit more defensive role. And like, yeah, he's hitting his last 2, but I don't have the confidence. Like, I have the confidence in Jeffrey or John Noble. We'll get there in a sec. Toby Nankervis is 8 out of 10. I really like, but just... So when Tristan Cherry played Wits or Gold Coast last week, when he was on Wits left him with only 9 posies. And like the week before that, or 2 weeks, he left Gawn with 15. And when I say Gawn with 15, Gawn is usually really good for posies. And so a 15 from Gawn is like low for him. So yeah, Wits has just been leaving the ruckman posieless, or with a lot of less disposals. So I've highlighted Nankervis, but I might just miss him this week. Even though he was great for us last week, I just think against Wits, what he's been doing this year is, yeah, being that big body on all the ruckmen. So I might just skip. I've highlighted Ralph Smith as orange just because I like what I see from him, but I just want to see more of it. So I don't blame you. But yeah, someone I just want to see a little bit more. I think the mullet, the flowing mullet, it just gives like an extra three posies when I look at him. I'm like, oh, he's so good. He's averaging like 13. Oh, but he's so fluid out there. No, that's more like a 18 posies. So no, just I want to see a bit more of him. Yeah, no one else I'd really take there from 15. In the 20 posie, I have Took Miller for 20, who I've actually included there. Similar deal, like not necessarily similar deal to Oliver. Oliver missed, but Took Miller has absolutely been killing it. And when you think, this 14, so he's 9 out of 10, right? This 14 was from last year where he got really hard tag from Marcus Windhager in the St Kilda game. So if you exclude that, he is doing very well, clearly getting over 20, and he is like the best two-way runner, defensive, offensive mid. He's looking fantastic. With his CBAs though, he is 3rd in line. It goes Anderson, Rao, then Miller. Flanders hasn't been getting many CBAs, so I still think while Miller is, you know, around the footy a lot, he's every chance to get 20. Look, hell, I've got him for 25. I think he's a great chance for 25. Like I said, if you exclude that 14, 23 and 24, he's getting very close, and $1.57. So he's had a couple of close misses versus Adelaide, and so he's been getting a 28% CBAs against Melbourne. Oh no, that's a different note for someone else. But yeah, I really think he's getting a bunch of... Oh, so yeah, sorry. No, he got 28% mid... he got 28% CBAs against Melbourne. But that was for Flanders' first game back and when Bailey Humphries was still popping off. So I think he's getting a lot more CBAs. He's going to be around the ball. Look, even if he's not, he's playing off high half forward, coming up around the stoppages. Yeah, I just like Took Miller. Hopper is great. He's losing his value though because he's playing so well. He's averaging like 30 posies. Could be someone I consider in the 25 posie bracket, especially with his month, but I just know he always teeters around 20, so I just want to see a bit more before I take that leap. Short, I like. Yeah, nothing more to say about Short. He gets the footy with kickouts. His one misses 19. Yeah, I really like him. Surprised I haven't included him. Oh, it's because Dan Rioli. Green and green, 9 out of 10. He missed. I think he can bounce back. He's playing his old side. At Marvel. Wait, they're playing at Marvel? Oh, okay. I thought that would be at the G. They're playing at Marvel. Anyway, so I think Dan Rioli can bounce back, get more of the footy. I think, like, as well, I know it's against Richmond and I feel like Gold Coast will win by a lot, but, you know, I still feel like the ball will come down there enough for Dan Rioli to get his 20. And he has been consistent for a long, you know, for a decent time. He's usually been 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for ages. So I'm happy to, if he has one bad game, I'm going to jump back on him. He's been great. John Noble, I would usually include. Probably if Dan Rioli had missed, or like he's been getting 21, 20. He's been getting close. Sorry, I'm thinking faster than I'm speaking. I would have included John Noble, maybe if Rioli hit, or if he had missed a lot of games, because I like what I'm seeing of John Noble. Like I really like how hungry he is to get the footy. But I just think Rioli, after a miss, versing his old side, I'm just going him for this game. And green, it's hard to say no to. 25, Matt Rao, bounce back. So I was hesitant because that 17 really resembled like the 2024 Matt Rao, where he's a bull. Don't get me wrong. When I say that, I just mean he has really never been like a 25 posie bracket player. He has always been 20. Is even sometimes hesitant for 20. So he's stepped up a lot in his posies. and hopefully that 17 is an outlier. Took Miller I just spoke about, I think is really good, even for 25. But I've just gone a bit safe, include him for 20 because there's other options I like. So yeah, I really like Joel Jeffrey there for 15 posies. I think that'll be easy for him. No one I like for a goal. Yeah, not even close. No one is. Yeah, I'm just going posies for that one. Yeah, I think Gold Coast will win that one. Let's go on to the first game of Sunday, Sydney versus Port. There is a lot to pick from. Oh, there's even more in the next one. So it's hard to kind of sometimes pick so far out in advance with these games, the Sunday games, because they don't provide you everyone. So like, look how small this 15 posi bracket is. Like, you can see that, and then almost all the 20 posi bracket. Whereas if I go to like the game today, actually, it's not that much better. What about the other one? Oh, yeah, there you go. The Brisbane thingo. My whole screen is 15 posi bracket. But yeah, so obviously they don't include all the players, but what we can select from, there's good options. Rowbottom, his one miss was that Brisbane game. Bergman has been great. I still think I would take him at $1.18. I was just complaining about how short he was. He was $1.11 last week, but he got injured. I haven't included that. He tried to play out the game, couldn't, played like 60-70%, so I think he can get 15, no worries. Willem Drew I like, just too short. That's crazy how he goes from like $1.30 to $1.10. Nick Blakey, his only miss has been 14. I think Nick Blakey for $1.25 is so freaking good. Kane Farrell as well, taking some kickouts off halfback. Well, I know Connor Rosie is playing halfback a bit too at the moment, so which is great for him. Connor Rosie's in form, but Kane Farrell has just been the leader of kickouts for Port Adelaide. So he has taken 25 kickouts. The next best is Josh Sin, and then the next best is Logan Evans, which I'm not even sure if Logan Evans is playing, and he's taken 8. So yeah, Logan Evans is not playing. Kane Farrell is taking 4, 5, 6 kickouts. So he just needs another 10 around the ground to get what we need. So I really like that. Travis Boak, the resurgence, the old boys have still got it. Pendles, Side Bottom, Danger, Zorko, all these 30-plus-year-olds just absolutely popping off, and Travis Boak is no exception at the moment. He's doing really well, but James Jordan, actually, before I go to Ollie Florin, his year has been fantastic. Even still tagging, he's getting a bunch of the footy, so he's hit every game to start the year, which is, yeah, great to see. Someone pointed that out in one of the comments in the first YouTube video I did, I think, or somewhere, that they liked James Jordan, and yeah, he's been popping off, so that was a very good call. Ollie Florence, his one miss has been 11, but green and green, 9 out of 10. Yeah, I will definitely take that. That is insane. So I've got him here. I've got Blakey, Farrell, and Bergman. Yeah, it's a pretty long leg. In the 20 posi bracket, I like Chad Warner. He hit after being tax subbed, played like 3/4 of footy, had a very quiet one against North, but I feel like that is an outlier for him. I feel like 20 is usually just what Chad Warner does. So I'll be backing him there. Heaney, like Hornet, we got last week for a great price. I just won't be doing that for $1.13, so I'm not highlighting him. It's why, like, it's great to go through this because, like, yeah, Hornet I was bullish on for 20 last week. He'll probably still get 20, but I'm not bullish on him for like $1.13. Like, not bullish enough. If Took Miller is different. Like, I really like him for 20, even though he's probably the same price. But yeah, just not quite there for Hornet. Matt Roberts has been fine. His one miss has been 19. That 15's from last year, but he always gets very close. So that 6 out of 10 isn't. It's better than it actually is. This is weird. I usually never highlight like Butters or Rosie for 25. Butters, yeah, and especially against a tag. But so I reckon Butters will get the James Jordan tag. But Nick Dacos popped off last week. LDU got 25. I think Jordan's tag isn't as severe as like a Windhager or Bedford tag, especially when we see here James Jordan is getting a lot of the footy himself. So I've still highlighted Zach Butters for $1.33. He might even go to like $1.40 before the game, and I think that is worth the risk, even when knowing he's going to get tagged. Connor Rosie, I've highlighted. If he's playing that half-back role, then he's going to get a lot of it. But he is a yo-yo. He can, yeah, have 16. I don't know. I just want to see what Connor Rosie is going to do, because he can have quiet games. He can also have fucking monster games. But yeah, I'd much rather go for consistency. In fact, I probably wouldn't even highlight him at the moment. I just want to see more. In the goal scorers, Tom Hanley, the Tom Papley lookalike. He has kicked a goal in every game he has played, excluding that sub game at the start of the year where he played a quarter. Very tempted to include him. The only reason I haven't is because I've gone the Hornet. Because I said, we've gone the Hornet for like a goal almost every round this year. And last week I said, we've done it too many times. I'm going to go Hornet for posies. So we went Hornet for posies. He is now very short in the 20 posie bracket, and we got him when he got 29 posies. He missed a goal, and he had a scoring shot, mind you. He got the high tackle, kicked one, and went to the left or something, just missed. So he's having scoring shots, which is great, but he missed. So I really think he can hit this week against Sydney, even though it's at Sydney. Yeah, I just really like Hornet. Ollie Lord was someone I wanted to include too, but just the bounce back of Hornet I just think is too strong for me. Ollie Lord is 9 out of 10, but you got to remember, like, I'm pretty sure all those games are over like 2 years. I think he played 6 last year and he's played 2 or 3 this year. Maybe 1 or 2 of those games are from 2023. Anyway, I think I would still bet on him. I like him. I mean, Mitch Georgiades is doing well. He's $1.04, but he needs like another forward target there. Ollie Lord's providing that. There's no Lukosius, there's no Todd Marshall. I like Ollie Lord, even if it's against Sydney. So Tom McCartan will take Georgiades, so I think that leaves Ollie Lord pretty free. Not free, the other defender is going to be on him. The one who used to play for like the Dogs, I forget his name. Can you bet on him here? No, I can't remember. But I think I like Ollie Lord for a goal. I think probably Sydney win there just because it's at home. But I think, and Port also just exploded last week. I don't know if they can do that 2 weeks in a row. And it was against Hawthorn. Anyway, so let's move on to the last game of the Sunday, which is Doggies versus Saints. This game, right, I had to bet on this straight away. So I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to probably put this forward at the beginning of all these bets because this is what have I not included it? I'm going to include something at the start of the video. It's like where you bet on one player from each game and you can combine it and still, if one leg fails, get your money back. Because I had to rush and do that straight away because what the fuck is this? Lockie Bramall, Mason Wood, $1.55, $1.57, 9 and 9. I'm like, that is a mistake. That is what the fuck? That is crazy. Look at the value we're getting here. I mean, like Jason Johannesson, exclude that. I'm not betting on him. Bailey Williams, Sanders, $1.42, $1.46. I wouldn't bet on Darcy. I'd bet on English. Like, what the fuck is this? I'd bet on Wilkie. What is the value we're getting here? This is insane. So as soon as I saw Mason Wood was $1.57, I fucking sprinted to my computer. No, I was on my computer already, but I included him in the multi-leg where it's one player per each game. And I've included, I never bet on the Sunday night games this early. I will always say who I'm going to bet on, but I had to bet on them straight away when I saw the price. So I've gone Wood, Bramall, Sanders, Williams, Burns, and then Sinclair just for a little bit extra. Sinclair 20 is pretty easy. I've gone everyone from the 15 posie bracket because they're playing so well. Playing and paying so well. Wilson missed last week. I do like him. He stepped up in the last half, but I think it was just too little too late. Burns has been amazing. He's playing he was playing the back line. I thought he played forward, and then I was watching a lot of the game. Yeah, he's getting a lot of it in the back line. Bailey Williams, back line, his 2 misses have been by 1 posie. Riley Sanders has been very close. Now, Bont is back, but I think Bont is going to play a lot in the forward line. I still think Riley Sanders $1.46 is insane. And plus, he's been getting 24, 20, 22. I know Bont's coming back and all, but they're not just going to, well, Sanders, thanks for that. You're out in the half forward, you're out in the wing. I still think they're going to put Sanders in the CBAs. So yeah, and he's got 7 posies to spare. Look what he's averaging. He's averaging 22. So all we need him is for 15 and $1.46. This is huge. Lockie Bramall, he had that 1 outlier game. He's done that before, but 9 out of 10. Mason Wood, he's 1 misses. That is insane. I just could not get over this. We have stumbled across a little gold mine here in the 15 posie bracket for the Saints Bulldogs game. It's at Marvel too. The roof is closed. Nice, clean, flat track. It'll just be great. Awesome. No one from the 20 posie bracket. All the good values in the 15. Bont I've highlighted. He's, missed and will probably play a lot forward. I'd probably prefer him for a goal. Ed Richards, Bailey Dale, too short. Sinclair is 10 out of 10, averaging 30 posies. like I said, I just sprinkled him to get over the $8. That's $8, that leg. That is insane. I could not get over the prices you could get for these. Fucking wild. Fuck, I might load up another bet. Nah, maybe. But yeah, Sinclair for 25. He hit last week. Yeah, he does what he needs to do. Get a bunch of kickouts, help around the ball, switch, handball, receive. Fantastic. For 25, I like Wanganeen Miller, even though he just missed. Actually, yeah, I do like Wanganeen Miller, and he's, you know, touted as one of the best players in the comp at the moment. Going to get a big, fat, juicy deal for his whenever he signs that. Tom Liberatore, 24, I usually like, but with, you know, he just missed, and he didn't get a posi in like the last 6 minutes or something. Oh, Jack McRae I do like, and he got tagged last week. I don't know if it's against his old team, but $1.17. Yeah, not quite enough McRae or Libba for these ones. That is weird, McRae and Libba, and they're on different teams. Anyway, goal scorers, I really only like Bont. Wood's been fine. Aaron Norton, what's $1.08? Sam Darcy, I'd almost even go for 2. He's kicked 2 goals. Wait, was that 1? Anyway, not quite there. Not quite there yet for Sam Darcy, even though he's been amazing. He is one of the best players in the league, best prospects. No one else that I really like for goals. Lockie McNeil's kicked a goal in every game this year. That's crazy. There's a bunch of people I just don't even count their stats. That's why they go to these hashtags, because I just don't. I'm never going to bet on them for a goal. If I do want to start betting on them for a goal, I'll include them. But for the meantime, I haven't even wasted my time to fill out their stats. But I think Doggies will play well and win this game. And yeah, if you guys jump on board now, there's a couple of great value picks in the 15 posi bracket. Mason Wood has been like $1.15 at times. How the fuck is he $1.57? Unless these players are coming out with like no hands, like on Sunday, like what? I don't know how they're all paying that well. That's fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I think Dogs will win that. Now, so let's move on to the Monday game, Geelong versus Hawthorn. I have not filled it out yet, so there is nothing to fill out because it is on Monday. The teams haven't been announced, and I don't like betting on the teams before. I don't like betting on the game until I see the teams announced. So again, huge little reminder to turn on the notification bell. I only post a video once a week, and the notification bell is not for the video, it's for these posts, because I'm pretty sure if you turn that on, you get notified when I do the post, because these posts aren't like I don't know, it's YouTube. It's not like Instagram where that's all posts. Like, I just want you guys to see the post that I do here, because if you click post, click there, the game will be down below. I'll do the form guide. I'll write up who I like. I'll include my bets. Might even do the bonus one too. But yeah, so the Geelong Hawthorn game will be there because, yeah, as this point in time, the teams are not announced. So anyway, that is all my bets for this week. So we're doing it pretty well. Unlucky about last night, the Brisbane-Collingwood game. Brisbane, oh my God, hardly showed up at all. But yeah, we're doing great. We're positive start the year, which is fantastic. So Jono will be back after this week, so he might be in the next video. But he's got a lot of homework to do. He's been away for like 3 weeks, so that's a lot of hours of footy he's gonna have to watch. We're not talking until he's watched every single one of those games. I need him up to date, knowledgeable about everything. But nah, it'll be good. So until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will post a video sometime next week for our round 7 bets. All right, too easy. All right, peace.